What's up, NFL fans? I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and don't forget to check out and purchase your copy of our latest football game plan book, Stiff Arming Football Myths. We have these available in both PDF and paperback form.
For the Panthers in this ball game, they have to force the Eagles downhill. You want to make this a downhill game. The Eagles will love to make this a horizontal game, running sideline to sideline, force them to play downhill. I think that plays right into the hands of the Panthers defense, and they have to tie up loose ends. Those receivers have to be able to beat press coverage. They have to be able to catch the football in traffic. The running game has to be able to get going. All of these things have to happen in order for the Panthers to have success. And I would play the power game. You want to run downhill versus this Eagles defense. You want to force guys like Casey Matthews and company to be aggressive versus the running game. That's some things right now without D'Amico Ryans that they can't do, I don't believe. And so that way you'll be able to operate off play action later on in the game. And for the Eagles in this ball game, you have to be able to own the time of possession. Carolina will try to come in and establish a ground game to try to shrink this ball game. And if you own the TOP, it's going to force the Panthers to maximize their own possessions, and you have to be able to set the edge defensively. Carolina would love to run outside with their power game. They love to run the counters. They love to bring two guards coming downhill. If you can't set the edge defensively, you're going to struggle to try to stop the running game. And the misdirection game calms the aggressiveness of a defense like Carolina that will love to just get upfield and get pressure on Mark Sanchez. So your counters, your traps, your draws, your quick screens, whether they be to the running back, receiver, or even the tight end, can be effective to help calm that pressure and giving Mark Sanchez more time in the pocket.
This week versus the Philadelphia Eagles is going to be important for the Carolina Panthers to be able to get pressure on Mark Sanchez, who's going to be making his first start with the Eagles this week. And I'm going to show you one way they can show a zone blitz look and a weak sky cover 3 look as well, influencing a bad decision. You see right here, Mark Sanchez is going to probably see 6-man pressure and think, okay, I got to get rid of this football quickly, but it's really not. And what we're going to do to throw him off is going to show a weak sky look, which means we're going to have the free safety drop down in that curl out responsibility, dropping the cornerback deep in the deep third. Going to bring the strong safety back in the deep third, or free safety, strong safety, however you want to flip-flop your safeties. Cornerback is dropping in the deep third. So it's a weak 3 sky look right here. We're sending the backer off the edge. So we're going to send one outside linebacker getting pressure on Mark Sanchez. We're going to have the defensive end get a bump to try to free up this outside backer, and he's going to drop back in that zone right here. We're going to have defensive tackle try to play through his man this way. We're going to run a twist up here, a T&E twist or a stunt. We're going to have the defensive end go first, defensive tackle go outside, backer drops back into this zone right here, and we're also dropping the Mike backer as well. So as you can see, we're only sending 4, but we're dropping 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in the underneath coverage. We're playing cover 3 on the back end. We're also influencing a quick bad throw right here to the weak side in hopes that the safety can pick it off and take it to the house. This is one way versus a Chip Kelly offense that the Panthers can apply pressure to a quarterback in Sanchez that's making his first start. This week versus the Carolina Panthers, the Philadelphia Eagles will have to be able to expand the coverage of that Panthers defense, and I'm going to show you one way they can expand it horizontally, and I'm going to show you how they can have success in the passing game. We're going to spread the field, and this is the rare situation where LaShawn McCoy is not on the field. We're going to have Josh Huff here, a big fan of his game and what he can do in the passing game, and we're going to try to get this defense going every which way horizontally and find different spots where we can go with the football. On the backside receiver, he's running a post, trying to draw the cornerback out of the way and try to hopefully draw the free safety. So that's one way. Now on the outside, the widest receiver outside of the numbers, he's running a takeoff route, which again takes the cornerback out of the way and takes the free safety out of the way. So now we're just operating here in the box. So off of a short motion, we're going to fake the jet sweep here with Darren Sproles. He's running the shoot route in the flat. He's your safety valve. He's a guy that you can get the football to quickly. If they're blitzing, that's your hot read right there. Tight end is going to work up and over, and what he's going to do, if he sees zone, he's going to find a soft spot in the zone. If it's man, he's going to keep going across the field, because again, we also have Josh Huff dragging across the formation, again, underneath the linebackers, which gives this a high-low read, and it makes it easier for Mark Sanchez to make a play, whether he can hit Huff running across the field because he does have the speed, and he also is electric after the catch, or he can find a tight end settling over the middle of the field versus zone, or running across field in man, and your safety valve in Darren Sproles, who doesn't need much to make this guy miss in the flat. So that's one way they can expand the coverage of the Carolina Panthers horizontally and generate a big play in the passing game this week versus the Panthers.
The biggest X factor in this game for Carolina will be their offensive line. Right now, Cam Newton is getting hit way too often in the pocket, and that's also not allowing these guys the time to throw the football or getting that running game going. So this offensive line of Carolina has to bring their A game versus Philadelphia. And for the Eagles, it's an obvious one. It's going to be quarterback Mark Sanchez. He has to be able to protect the football versus Carolina. He did okay in spot duty last week versus Houston, being thrust into action after Nick Foles went down with injury. Now that he's the full-time starter, you better believe the Panthers will throw a lot of different looks at him, different stunts, different coverages, and he has to be able to read, diagnose, and get the football out of his hands quickly, accurately, and decisively in order to have success. I actually like the Panthers in this ball game. I think what you'll see from Carolina is great play in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Their offensive line will do a solid job versus that front seven of Philadelphia, and they'll be able to run the football. And on defense, I think they will be active enough to cause problems for Mark Sanchez in his first start with Philadelphia. So I like the Panthers to knock off the Eagles in a close one out there in Philadelphia.
What's up, fantasy football fans? I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. For all of your starts, sits, fantasy football notes, news, and tidbits, tune into our podcast, Football Game Plan Starting Lineup, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on our Football Game Plan Radio Network, which is located at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.
And I also want to give a huge shout out to Panther fan forums and Eagle fan forums for always showing Football Game Plan support.